Hello, hello, hello. This is Toni Moore. Just wanted to come in and just have a conversation with regards to money, women, finances, wealth, and what we need to do to change the statistics so that, ultimately we don't have to end up being the brokest people in America. I was looking at statistics today with regards to how women tend to be like far, far less than men when it comes to saving money, far, far less than men. And in fact, like over 60% of women said that they would rather die than talk about money. How can that be? I mean, we are in business and we also make money, and we know that we tend to live a lot longer than our men. And we also know that we need money so that we can live our wealthier ever after. So tell me again why we avoid the very topic that we need to talk about. And also, with regards to it, I know for certain that when we talk about it sooner, and then what we be about what we talk about, meaning that we invest in our money and we put our money aside and we put it into investment accounts, then we can take advantage of the rule of 72 and compounded interest, where we don't always have to have the sweat equity to increase our money. So, for those of you who do not know me, I'm an attorney of 21 years. 21 years ago, all I wanted to do was become an estate planning attorney and just help people with their trust funds, help them with their wealth, have a conversation so that we can live our wealthier ever after. What I didn't realize was that most people were not having those conversations. Most people were very reactive when it came to money because of some deep seated ish that we had experienced in childhood or society, mores and norms, conversations that we often had when it comes to money or didn't have, such as money doesn't grow on trees, or didn't have with regards to do I look like I'm made of money? Or when we asked for something, we were always told that we're asking for too much, or maybe we should be content with where we are, as opposed to appreciating that here's the thing: when it comes to money, we have to express money. We have to embrace money. Money is currency. So it is about coming in and going out, coming in and going out. Wherever parts that you're putting it in, my Bible in Ecclesiastes 11:2, it says to invest in seven, if not eight streams. So obviously, money doesn't just want to sit. Money has to be expressed and invested in various streams so that we can get a better rate of return. But if we don't have a conversation with regards to it, then it's just always going to be something with regards to what other people are doing or what other people are having, but and not what we can achieve. When we actually study money, know the rules of money, know the language of money, and how it can work. Now, I don't want to negate the fact that there are people who are talking about money, but oftentimes they're talking about budgets, or they're talking about credit, or they're talking about how we can flip real estate. But then there's no conversation as to when we get that money. What is our financial plan? What is our assessment? How do we design a financial plan so that we can live our wealthier ever after? How do we employ our dollars to make sure that money works for us, so that the answer to who doesn't always have to be us? There's only but so much time and so many people. But when we understand that there is a way so that we can take advantage of the flow energy of money, so that it flows to us and through us and for us and by us, then that's when we can increase our dollars. See, I know that when we have this conversation about money, the first thing I have to do is just be like, have a prayer and say, Holy Spirit, please help us to understand and appreciate that you have given us the power to create wealth. Please help us to understand and appreciate that you want us to live our wealthier ever after. Please help us to understand and appreciate that you want us to live in that more abundantly. Help us to appreciate that debt devours every believer's treasures. Help us to appreciate that we have to mitigate and reduce the risk of losing our money. Help us so that we don't be so reactive. Help us so that we won't be so emotional. Help us so that we can have a strategic plan and make strategic decisions about how we are going to bloom, blossom, and grow our money. Amen. See, this is what I know. Anytime I have a conversation about money, I know that the energy leaves the room, because most of us have had a very bad experience with money. Most of us have had a very bad beginnings when it came to money. Most of us, especially brown and black women, have a traumatic experience when it comes to money. And I know that the spirit of scarcity has shown up and he has taken advantage of a lot of conversations. The spirit of scarcity is like cancerous to our ability to prosper and that more abundantly. The spirit of scarcity is keeping us from seeking and knowing and keeping us from fully expressing ourselves and becoming the fullest expression of who we're supposed to be on this side of heaven. But when I know that when we take advantage and we reclaim our position and we define and design the life that we want and we make our money work for us as opposed to always concentrating on what we don't have and start to concentrate on what we do have, then things shifts. Hashtag money shifts. See, when you appreciate the money shifts, when you get into the position, when you change your mindset, when you own your power, when you negate the negativity, when you energize yourself to be all that you need to be so that you can become who you're meant to be. And when you say yes to you, I promise when you say yes to you, when you say yes to the plans and purpose that God preordained for you, when you say yes to allowing God to live and to grow and have his being in you, when you say yes to allowing God to be exceedingly and abundantly more, when you say yes to disciplining your dollars, when you say yes to always to create more than you can consume, then that's when your money conversations will change. Says, isn't it time for you to change your money conversation? Isn't it time for you to design a life so that you can live your wealthier ever after? Isn't it time for you to understand that you are wealthier, that you are healthier, that you are bigger, better, and more than the statistics, that you are an outlier to all of the financial hell that we go through. You're an outlier in that you do not have to have yourself living in a scarce mindset and a scarcity situation, that you do not have to live amongst the sea of sameness, that you do not have to allow the statistics to dictate your existence, nor does it need to limit your possibilities. When you understand that you have the power to be the money maven of your dreams, when you have the power to create the life that you love, when you have the power to make your money work for you. See, today I just want to just talk about the mindset of a millionaire. It's the mindset so that you can live wealthier ever after, the mindset that you always have to understand the rule of reciprocity and the rule of attraction. The rule of attraction means that you always get what you focus on. You always get what you focus on. So if you focus on what you don't have, if you focus on the hurt and the pain, if you focus on how people lied to you and misused you, if you focus on what you can't do and what people aren't paying you, then you will continually get it. It's awful, but it's good to know what the rules are and how that law of attraction can make you a better person. How the law of attraction can also help you understand when you're faith and you're faithful and you make your faith bigger than your fear, and you make your faith bigger than your reality, and you make your faith bigger than the statistics, and you make your faith bigger than your experiences, and you make your faith bigger than your bi-weekly paychecks, and you make your faith bigger than whatever comes your way, then guess what? You empower yourself, you enable yourself so that you can go above and beyond what your reality says. Listen to me, I'm telling you. When I was growing up, it was kind of hard because I was a child, but I was a visionary, and I just started looking about how other people were doing it. And even in my childhood ways, before I was 12, I was telling my mom, "Hey, mom, this is what we need to do. You know, the same way that you're making hoagies so that you can get the pastor's money, so that you can get a chance to put money into this offering because of the appreciation fund that you have pledged. That's the same thing you can do after the pastor's appreciation. You know, mom, the same way other moms are having jobs and experiences and making money, you can do that too. Hey, mom, you know how you make those hankies and you make those head scarves? Guess what? People will still pay for them even after you get out of the situation where you need money right now. Hey, mom, can't we just do better? See, I didn't have like someone to say, "Oh, wow, Toni, you just have this entrepreneurial mindset. Hey, wow, Toni, you're very creative, and you're always thinking about about how to enterprise yourself, how to monetize your brilliance. The same way I was as a child, that's how I am as a grown woman who has been through some things, a grown woman that understands that she has to value herself and put a price on her brilliance so that other people can respect and appreciate the boundaries. This is what I know, is that when we get out of the mindset of always having to please and appease other people, come on, somebody, then we can start being a better version of ourselves when we don't have to ask for permission to have commissions. Come on. When I used to sell insurance, or like we like to say, help other people make a financial decision so that they can invest in their future and protect their families just in case something would happen. When I was doing that, I was also around men who often were Caucasian men, and they were just like, look, Toni, there's a difference between eating hot dogs and eating steak. So you have to present, you have to see as many people, and you have to understand that you are bringing something to them to help them, but you're also worthy of getting commissions. Wow. On the meantime, when I talk to my sister girl, women entrepreneurs, there's a different conversation with regards to, well, I don't know if they want to do this. I don't know if they can make the money. I don't know if they can X, Y, Z. I don't know. And we start making excuses. I don't know. And we start reducing our prices. I don't know. And we don't even ask for the sale. See, if in order for us to dare to be wealthier than we've ever seen or heard before, then we're going to have to stop asking and stop being about that I don't know. And we're going to start allowing ourselves to be who God created us to be. It gets to the point where you want to be who God created you to be. I don't know about you, but I really want to be who God created me to be. And I go back to Deuteronomy's, how God is always reminding me that He has given me the power to create wealth. He has also reminded me how I can be so much better than I've ever seen or heard before. And He has reminded me that I can do things and that more abundantly. And He has reminded me of how I'm supposed to be the head and not the tail, how I'm supposed to be the lender and not the borrower, how I'm supposed to live above and not beneath. Y tú también, and you as well. See, when we start focusing on the promises of God, when we start focusing on the possibilities of God, and when we start focusing on what wealthier ever after looks like, when we start focusing on the vision of living our best life, the vision of living in our best home, the vision of living in amongst people who love us and get us and will invest at the next level with us, when you start focusing on that and you write that vision down, and then you're so committed to that vision, then you'll start manifesting greater things in your life, for you, by you, through you. See, this is the day that the Lord has made. This is the day that He has given us the strength and the power. He's given us the strong mind. He's given us a strong will. He's given us the knowledge, the skills, and the abilities so that for us to do greater things. We don't have to be like the 70% who are stuck with what the statistics say, stuck in the same home, stuck in a dead marriage, stuck in a job that's going to always keep us just over broke. We don't have to be in those situations. No, don't have to live by default, the default of others, and the fault of our parents, and the default of our ancestors not getting the information that they needed to cultivate us. No. This is the time that you get a chance to design your life. You have to dare to be wealthier than you've ever seen or heard before. Dare to be the woman of your dreams. Dare to not be broke. Dare to not always have to be cutting coupons. That is not wealthy living. If you're always just focusing on cutting coupons, then you're then going to shift your existence, and your inner being is like, oh, she likes clipping coupons. So she's never going to have that to live in that more abundantly. She's never going to get that opportunity to experience this exceedingly and abundantly more. And I know some people that makes it a whole living with regards to clipping coupons, and they spend hours upon hours to save $20 and $30 and $40. And I'm like, oh, is that what you're worth? Your 5 hours was only worth $40? Or can you get beyond that point? You need to get into a room. You need to get in a space. You need to even go to a luxury car dealership so that you can be around people with money. where they're not even thinking about clipping coupons, where they're not trying to figure out how to save $1.50 off of a ton of water. No, 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 no. See, when you get to that point in your mind, your body, and your spirit, then you will focus on something greater. You will focus on more. You will not always be worrying about how you're going to get your next penny or how you're going to get your next client. See, you're going to walk much like the virtuous woman, where you're blessed in the city and blessed in the field and blessed where you come and where you go, where you know that no good thing will be withheld from you, when you know that your light is meant to shine, when you know that you are already blessed and bankable, when you know that you are a great financial steward with your money, when you know that you are not going to be victimized by the lies of life, and that you're not going to be triggered by some emotional experience that's going to make you waste your money or have shopping therapy. I don't understand how we think that that's therapy when we swipe in our card when somebody gets on our nerves. My thing is, the best revenge is for you to become better and more than you even expected yourself to be. I mean, come on now, success is the best revenge, and also one of the another revenge is when you make your money work for you, like even without your support, even without your validation, even without your acceptance. I still made it. You want to get to that point where I still made it. I still succeeded. I still became who God wanted me to be. And you have to change your mindset. You got to get to the point where it's no longer about the people. It's no longer about the places. It's no longer about the norms and the expectations. It's no longer about being triggered. It's no longer about being diminished. It's no longer about being defined. It's about who you see, who you want to be, what do you want to achieve in your life, where do you want to go in your life. When you get to that point, oh, what a day of rejoicing it will be. See, when we talk about wealth, some people say it's not about money, but my God has even allowed it in his book in Ecclesiastics that money answers all things. It answers all things. Not only that, but in Ecclesiastes, it tells me that money is a defense. So guess what? Whoever's talk about money, wealth, and they don't talk about money, then guess what? They are not in the right room. When I was working at the law firms, when I was trying to build up my estate planning career, when I was getting my billable hours, when I was working with the executives, we always talked about financial planning when we talked about wealth maintenance, wealth protection, wealth building. And guess what? We always talked about one, setting goals. Then we gathered up the information. Then we assessed the data. Are you a spender? Are you a borrower? Are you a saver? Are you a spaver? Are you triggered? What is your money personality? And then we developed a financial plan based on the financial needs assessment of that person and based on what their money goals were. Do you have a money goal? It shouldn't just be about surviving. It shouldn't just be about just focusing on scratching and surviving. It shouldn't just be about what your next vacation is. No, see, when you're dealing with living your wealthier ever after, you are looking at your financial experience today. And then also you're thinking about how you're going to build your credit, how you're going to protect yourself, how you're going to reduce your debt, what the retirement plan looks like, what your estate plan looks like, and what your succession plan looks like. If you're not having those conversations, then I already invite you to already come to the Wealth Up Challenge, because those are the conversations you need to have. Like I always say, money is the money mindset that you need first to change your situation. The money mindset with regards to your experience about how you are the head and not the tail, how you are the lender and not the borrower, how you are more than enough to live above and not beneath, how you already have what God has created for you, how you are worthy of having the wealth that is laid up for you. And you have that money mindset, and you're always reminding yourself what God said, what he does, where your help comes from, and where you're supposed to be. Abundance. See, this is what I know. The same way that we have The same way we have generational curses, we also have generational blessings. And amongst those generational blessings, there will always be the devil who's going to try to steal, kill, and destroy your possibilities, your potential, what God has already written into your destiny. Sometimes I hear stories and people are like, God is already writing the book. No, the book has already been written. He said, if you do this, I will bless you with that. I've already preordained you so that you can be the person that breaks down the chain, so that you can overcome the impossibilities, so that you can appreciate that you already are who I need you to be, so that you can appreciate that, guess what, that the thing that ran into your family stopped when it met you. See, you got to get to that point where you know and you fully appreciate that you have to be bigger, you have to be better, you have to be more than you've ever seen or heard before, for you to achieve what's already meant for you. See, if you allow what stopped your mama and your daddy and your grandparents and their grandparents and their great, 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 great grandparents, then you will only get what society allows you to have. I want you to get into the mindset that you are worthy. You are worthy of living your desires. You are worthy of being better and more than you've ever seen before. You are worthy of living the life that you love. You are worthy to not be black and blue in the church pews. You are worthy of not having to file for bankruptcy. You are worthy of not having to be sick, busted, and disgusted because you didn't have the money to take care of yourself. You are worthy of living your life out loud. You are worthy of allowing God to use you and to manifest greater from you. You are worthy of just being who you desire to be. You are worthy of living out that vision. You are worthy of being more than what you talk about. You are worthy of being amazing to yourself, your family, and your all the people who didn't think that you could make it. But you have to believe it. You have to believe it. And if you can't believe it, then you got to be like others and say, God, help my unbelief. Help me so that I can be better. Help me so I can discipline my daughters. Help my dollars. Help me so I can employ what you've given me. Help me so that I can bank my brilliance. Help me so I can be a financial outlier of faith. Help me so I don't always have to be wondering and waiting and hoping that someone will rescue me. Help me so I don't think that a man is a financial plan. Help me to appreciate that I am wealthier. I am worthy of the wealth that I want. I am worthy of the wealth that I want. Say that enough times. I am worthy of the wealth that I want. I am worthy. And once you realize you're worthy, then you're going to work for it. I don't care. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes when you understand that God has already given you the energy and the power to move and to live and to have his being inside of you. You got to believe it. You got to believe it that I am worthy. I am worthy of the wealth that I want. I am worthy of being the woman of my dreams. I am worthy of being the wealthier woman of my dreams. Come on, somebody. You got to be that person. Be it in your mind, be it in your heart, be it in your understanding. And once you allow yourself to be that person already, then you will. Your dreams will become possibilities. Your reality will have to bow down to the destiny inside of you. Anything that's holding you, even the devil within you, the doubt, the ego, the vices, the isms, the lies, within you have to bow down. It don't make any room for it. In fact, just be a better version of you. Seek it, know it, ask. What do you need to see so that you can be the woman of your dreams? What do you need to see so that you can be wealthier and live wealthier, and you can weather the storm so you can be who God created you to be who God preordained you to be? That when you get to that point, when you get to that point in your mind, your body, and your spirit, then that's when you will understand that God's, while you was waiting on God, God was waiting on you to get into position, to get his provisions, to get into position so that you can have a better posture, to get into position so that you can use your power to live the life that you desire, to get into the position of being the woman that he's been waiting for. Even in Jeremiah 31:22, how long will you tarry? How long will you be afraid? I want to do a new thing in you. So new, it's almost like a woman encircling a man. You're holding up your blessing, sis. It's time for you to be better. It's time for you to be more. It's time for you to get into position so that you can be who God created you to be. If you need any assistance or help, you know where to find me. Even in my Wealthier Women room, we talk about money because money answers all things, and money is a defense so that when the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy, we already have our green soldiers working for us. Is your green soldiers working for you? It's time to have a different conversation. It's time to be better than you've ever seen or heard before. It's time to be a wealthier version of you. This is Toni Moore. Thank you so much for joining the Wealthier Woman Chat, and we will speak real soon. Bye for now.